Before we begin the prayer, I need to teach you something that can change the way you see your life starting today. Not every door opens by force. Some open by alignment. There is a difference between effort and favor. Effort exhausts. Favor directs. Effort tries to convince. Favor prepares the way without you having to explain yourself to anyone. And maybe you are here exactly because you feel this way. Like someone who is doing the right thing, but living with the feeling of being invisible. You pray, you try, you insist, and still it seems like the yes does not come. But I want you to hold on to this with an open heart. God does not work in the noise of haste. He works in the silence of purpose. The Bible shows us that God knows how to touch places we cannot reach, hearts, decisions, environments, processes, opportunities. And when he decides to act, what seemed stuck begins to move on the inside, first in the invisible, then in the natural. That is why today is not about begging for things to work. It is about entering God's presence the right way, with your mind in the right place, with your spirit in the right place. So I ask you for something very simple, but very powerful. Do not pray this prayer on autopilot, because there are days when a prayer is not just a moment of faith, it is a repositioning. It is as if God takes what was out of place and puts it back on track. And now comes the point I do not want you to ignore. If you stay with me until the end, I will lead you through a prayer that is not only to give you peace, it is to activate direction, open the right paths, and silence what has been trying to paralyze you on the inside. And I believe you will notice something different even today. Not necessarily a loud miracle, but a clear alignment. A response that comes as confirmation, as opportunity, as peace, as doors that begin to give way. And believe this, all of this is possible when we learn to be grateful to God and begin to practice that gratitude. Take a deep breath and allow me to guide you. If you believe that God can reach you where you are, then pray with me. Lord, I thank you because today I understand something that changes everything. Nothing in my life is luck. Nothing is coincidence. Nothing is by chance. What reaches me comes from your hand, comes from your care, comes from your attentive gaze. Your word says in Proverbs 16:9 that a man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. And I acknowledge that every detail of my path carries your signature. I am grateful because your favor does not depend on my resume, my strength, or my ability to convince people. It depends on your will, just as it is written in Psalm 84:11 that the Lord is a sun and shield and does not withhold any good thing from those who walk uprightly. I rest knowing that what is mine will find me at the right time, without effort, without exhaustion, without humiliation. Father, I thank you even for the doors that did not open, because today I realize it was not rejection, it was protection. How many times did I want to enter places you delivered me from? How many times did I insist on paths you blocked out of love? Thank you for taking care of me when I did not even notice. And as I recognize this, I feel that you begin to organize something beyond what my eyes can see. Lord, I thank you because you do not only see where I am, you know exactly when to find me. Nothing in you is rushed. Nothing in you is late. Your word says in Ecclesiastes 3:1 that there is a time for everything under heaven, and today I rest in the certainty that my time is not lost, it is being prepared. I am grateful because while I think I am forgotten, you are positioning me. Just as you did with Joseph, who spent years in anonymity before being remembered at the exact moment, I believe that heaven also holds dates that I cannot see. Thank you, because you do not arrive early to expose me, and you do not arrive late to frustrate me. You arrive at the right point. Father, I thank you even for the days when nothing seems to happen. Because today, I understand that silence is not abandonment, it is construction. It is you adjusting things I cannot see, touching people I do not know. preparing environments I do not yet frequent. And as I thank you for this, I realize that something begins to move beyond human time. Lord, today I acknowledge something that changes my posture toward life. Not every door opens with persistence. Some open with heaven's permission. There are accesses that are not conquered by force, but by grace. Your word says in Revelation 3:7 that you are the one who opens, and no one can shut, and shuts, and no one can open. And I rest knowing that what is released by you cannot be blocked by anyone. I celebrate because you do not make me beg for opportunities. You position me in them. How many times did I try to convince, explain, prove, and nothing happened? But in other moments, without effort, without speeches, without strategy, things simply fell into place. Today I understand. It was not luck, it was your favor in motion. As it is written in Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is like a stream of water in your hands. You turn it wherever you please. Father, I honor your care even in the refusals I received, because today I realize that not every closed door is rejection. Many are protection. If I had entered some places, I might have lost my peace, my faith, or even my identity. Thank you for closing paths that would hurt me and for preparing accesses that will strengthen me. And as I recognize this, something in me begins to align to understand that not everything depends on my strength. Lord, today I recognize that not everything is resolved with effort, planning, or persistence. There are things that only unlock when heaven steps in. Your word says in Zechariah 4:6 that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit, and I surrender to that truth. Because I have already tried to solve things with my own hands. I have already tried with my own strength, and I only found exhaustion. I celebrate because you do not call me to fight alone. You call me to align my thoughts, align my decisions, align my intentions. When I align with you, even what seemed heavy becomes light. Jesus said in Matthew 11:30 that your yoke is easy and your burden is light. And I feel that when I stop pushing doors and start trusting your guidance. Father, I rest knowing that I do not need to compete, run faster than others, or prove myself all the time. What is mine, you know how to deliver. What is not, you know how to block. And as I choose to walk at your pace, something inside me begins to be organized, as if you were adjusting pieces that I did not even know were out of place. Lord, today I acknowledge something that changes the way I wait. You never start on the stage, you always start behind the scenes. While I see silence, you see construction. While I see delay, you see preparation. Your word says in Isaiah 55:8 that your thoughts are not my thoughts, and I rest knowing that what I do not understand now is being organized by you. I honor your care on the days when nothing seems to happen. On those ordinary days with no news, no answers, no clear signs. Today I understand that these are exactly the days you use most to strengthen me on the inside. As it is written in Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good of those who love you, even those that seem unproductive in my eyes. Father, how many times did I want to skip steps? How many times did I ask for acceleration when you were working in depth? Thank you for not giving me things before I was ready to sustain them. Thank you for shaping my character while I ask for a change of scenery. And as I recognize this, something inside me begins to accept that the invisible is just as important as the visible. Lord, today I acknowledge something that brings me rest. I do not need to be in every place to be remembered, because your favor reaches where I cannot reach. While I sleep, you work. While I remain silent, you intercede. Your word says in Proverbs 16:7 that when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies live at peace with him, and I trust in that invisible covering. I celebrate because you know how to mention my name in environments where I have never stepped. In conversations I did not hear. In decisions I did not participate in. How many times was an opportunity born without me understanding how? Today I know it was your favor preparing the ground. As it is written in Psalm 5:12, the Lord blesses the righteous and surrounds him with favor as with a shield. Father, this even changes the way I deal with criticism and injustice. Because I understand that I do not need to defend myself all the time. You are my advocate. I do not need to convince people. You incline hearts. And as I rest in this, something inside me grows quiet, as if you were saying, "Trust, I am taking care of things you cannot even imagine." Lord, today I recognize that waiting on you is not wasting time. It is gaining structure. While I think I am standing still, you are strengthening me on the inside. Your word says in Isaiah 40:31 that those who wait on the Lord renew their strength, and I feel that renewal happening even when nothing changes on the outside. I honor the processes I did not choose, but that formed me. The days when I wanted answers and received silence. The moments when I wanted progress and received maturity. Today I understand that you never leave me waiting for no reason. Every wait carries a purpose. Every delay hides a protection. Every pause builds something that no rush could ever build. Father, this even changes the way I deal with anxiety. Instead of complaining, I breathe. Instead of panicking, I trust. If you have not released it yet, it is because you are still aligning it. And as I rest in this truth, something inside me begins to stand firm, as if you were preparing the ground for something that has not yet appeared. Lord, today I realize something I did not see before. Your favor does not only open paths, it also guards me from wrong paths. How many times did I want to move forward and you held me back? How many times did I thought I was losing, and in fact, I was being preserved? Your word says in Psalm 121 that the Lord is the one who keeps me from all evil, and I rest in that silent protection. I celebrate because you do not leave me out of place for long. When I became misaligned, you brought me back. When I got lost on the inside, you repositioned me on the outside. Like a father adjusting the steps of his child, you realign me without exposing me, without shaming me, without hurting me. This is love in the form of care. Father, today I understand that not every no was rejection. Many were redirection. If I had insisted on some people, I might have lost my peace. If I had remained in some environments, I might have lost my faith. Thank you for moving me away from places that limited me and bringing me closer to places that strengthen me. And as I recognize this, something in me begins to accept that you are adjusting me for something greater. Lord, today I acknowledge with a peaceful heart, you never lose sight of anyone. Even when no one sees me, you see me. Even when no one values me, you value me. Your word says in Hebrews 6:10 that God is not unjust to forget our work and the love we have shown for his name, and that calms everything inside me. I honor your care in the backstage of my story. In the days when I served without applause, helped without recognition, and was faithful without return, you saw every gesture, every choice, every sacrifice, and I rest knowing that heaven is an excellent record keeper. Nothing is lost, nothing is erased, nothing is ignored. Father, this even changes the way I deal with comparisons, because I understand that my time is not someone else's time, and my harvest is not someone else's harvest. If you have not released it yet, it is because you are still completing something in me. And as I recognize this, something inside me begins to grow stronger, as if you were reminding me, I know exactly where you are. Lord, today I acknowledge that your clock does not fail, does not run late, and does not arrive early. While I look at the calendar, you look at purpose. Your word says in Habakkuk 2:3 that the vision will be fulfilled at the appointed time and will not fail. And that teaches me to wait without despair. I celebrate because you do not work with improvisation. You work with precision, When something takes time, it is not neglect, it is preparation. When something arrives quickly, it is not luck, it is alignment. Today, I understand that you know exactly when I am ready, even when I think I already am. And that keeps me from falling into things I cannot yet sustain. Father, this even changes the way I deal with other people's urgency. I do not need to run to keep up with anyone. I do not need to force stages. I do not need to imitate paths. If you are writing my story, it does not need human editing. And as I rest in this truth, something inside me begins to slow down, as if you were teaching me to trust without anxiety. Lord, today I acknowledge something that strengthens me on the inside. Your favor does not depend on the setting. It creates the setting. Even in difficult places, you set me apart. Even in dry environments, you make me flourish. Your word says in Genesis 39:2 that the Lord was with Joseph and everything he did prospered, even while he was a servant. And that teaches me that your presence is the true difference. I celebrate because you do not need to change the place to change my story. You change the atmosphere. You change the way people look. You change the weight of situations. How many times did I think, if I were in another place, everything would be better? And today I understand that you are able to favor me exactly where I am. That is spiritual authority in action. Father, this even changes the way I face challenges at work, in the family, in relationships. Because I know it is not the environment that limits me, it is alignment that releases me. If you are with me, even difficult ground becomes fertile soil. And as I recognize this, something inside me begins to position itself, as if you were preparing me to shine without having to leave the place. Lord, today I recognize something that few notice. You see what no one applauds. You honor decisions that no one comments on. Your word says in Matthew 6:6 that the Father who sees in secret rewards openly, and that brings deep peace to me, because I know my faithfulness does not go unnoticed. I celebrate every choice I made when it would have been easier to give up. Every time I remained upright when no one was watching. Every no I said to sin, even without witnesses. Today, I understand that you build destinies in environments of anonymity. As it is written in Luke 16:10, whoever is faithful in little is also faithful in much. And you train me in the little before trusting me with the much. Father, this even changes the way I see small daily actions, the way I treat my family, the way I speak to co-workers, the way I react when no one sees. I know all of this is seed. And as I choose to obey without an audience, something inside me begins to mature, as if you were preparing me to sustain what is still to come. Lord, today I recognize that you do not act only in people. You act in contexts. You move decisions, adjust scenarios, reorganize environments. Your word says in Proverbs 21:1 that the heart of the king is like streams of water in your hands, and I rest knowing that even what seems beyond my reach is under your rule. I celebrate because you know how to prepare the atmosphere even before I arrive. How many times did I walk into tense places and find peace? How many times did I expect resistance and receive openness? Today I understand. It was not coincidence, it was your favor preparing the ground. You soften atmospheres, align conversations, and break resistance before I even notice. Father, this changes the way I face meetings, interviews, and difficult conversations. I do not enter alone, I enter accompanied. You go before me. And as I walk in this awareness, something inside me begins to grow quiet, as if you were telling me in silence, "Leave it with me, I am already working there." My God, it is powerful to realize how you touch where I cannot reach. You do not need to change people on the outside, you adjust them on the inside. Your word says, in Proverbs 21:1, that the heart of the king is in your hands, and that teaches me that no decision is greater than your authority. How many times has someone changed their mind without explanation? How many times did a no turn into a yes without logic? Today I understand. It was not luck. It was you inclining hearts, softening resistance, awakening empathy. You make someone remember me, defend my name, open space where there was none. This is care in motion. And this completely changes the way I enter environments. I do not enter to compete. I enter to trust. I do not enter to manipulate. I enter to rest. Because I know that when you act in people's hearts, no human strategy is necessary. And something is already beginning to move beyond what I can perceive. God, it is liberating to know that I do not need to be everywhere for you to act on my behalf. While I go about my routine, you enter rooms I would never step into, take part in conversations I would never hear, and influence decisions I would never control. Your word says in Isaiah 65:24 that before I call, you answer, and that gives me a peace that does not depend on circumstances. There are things that get resolved without explanation, doors that open without negotiation, opportunities that appear without warning. Today I understand. It is your favor working in silence. You raise people to remember my name, bring up my case, defend my cause when I do not even know it is being discussed. This is care that makes no noise, but changes destinies. And this transforms the way I rest at night, the way I deal with anxiety, the way I release control. I do not need to watch over everything, because you watch over me. I do not need to chase everything, because you go ahead of me. And something inside me begins to relax, like someone learning to truly trust. My God, today I can see with different eyes what once frustrated me. Not every delay is loss, many are deliverance. Not every wait is neglect, many are care. Your word says in Psalm 37:23 that the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord, and that teaches me that even the pace of my walk is under your control. How many times did I complain about doors that did not open, answers that did not come, opportunities that passed by? And today I realize that if they had opened, I might not have been ready to sustain them. You spared me from falls, from pain, from choices that would have cost me dearly. This is love disguised as delay, and this completely changes the way I deal with frustration. Instead of murmuring, I observe. Instead of insisting, I trust. Because I know that when you hold back, it is because something does not fit me. And when you release, it is because there is already enough structure for me to remain. God, it is comforting to realize that you are not intimidated by what limits me. Where I see failure, you see room to act. Where I feel small, you manifest greatness. Your word says in 2 Corinthians 12:9 that your grace is made perfect in weakness, and that completely changes the way I see myself. How many times did I try to hide my insecurities, disguise my fears, pretend strength, when in fact that was exactly where you wanted to enter? Today, I understand that I do not need to be flawless to be used. I need to be available. You do not choose the ready, you prepare the chosen. And this transforms even the way I deal with mistakes and limitations. Instead of condemning myself, I learn. Instead of pulling away, I draw closer. Because I know that when I cannot handle it, you complete it. And something inside me begins to rest, like someone who finally stops fighting against themselves. My God, it is incredible to realize that you do not only change circumstances, you change inner states. You touch where no one sees, heal where no one can reach, reorganize feelings that were disordered inside. Your word says in Psalm 147:3 that you heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds, and I feel this care happening in silence. There are days when nothing changes on the outside, but everything changes on the inside. The problem remains, but the weight is gone. The situation is not resolved, but peace arrives. Today I understand. This is emotional repositioning. You adjust the way I feel, so that I can sustain what I am still going to live. This is preparation that does not show, but transforms. And this completely changes the way I deal with sadness, frustration, and weariness. Instead of sinking, I breathe. Instead of giving up, I lean in. Because I know that when you reposition on the inside, no pressure on the outside can break me. And something inside me begins to grow stronger, like someone who starts believing again without even noticing. God, it is powerful to realize how you also take care of the connections that are part of my life. You do not work only on doors and opportunities. You work on bonds, on ties, on affections. Your word says in Proverbs 16:7 that when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies live at peace with him. And this shows me that you know how to pacify environments and soften people. There are relationships that heal without conversation, distances that shrink without explanation, tensions that dissolve without confrontation. Today I understand it is you moving on the inside, touching hearts, aligning intentions. What used to be difficult begins to flow. What used to hurt begins to lose its power. This is intervention that makes no noise, but changes everything. And this transforms the way I deal with conflicts, wounds, and expectations. Instead of reacting, I wait. Instead of closing myself off, I trust. Because I know that you are a specialist in rebuilding bridges that I had already given up on. And something begins to reorganize without me having to force it. God, it is wonderful to realize that you never make me walk alone. Even when I think I am on my own, you have already placed someone ahead, someone beside me, someone prepared to cross my path at the right time. Your word says in Psalm 68:6 that you set the lonely in families, and this shows me that even encounters are planned by you. There are people who appear as answers, as relief, as direction. A piece of advice at the right moment, an unexpected call, a word that changes the day. Today I understand. It is not coincidence, it is providence. You raise helpers that I did not ask for, instruments I did not imagine, hands I did not know I needed. And this changes the way I look at new people. Unexpected connections, simple encounters. Instead of distrusting, I observe. Instead of closing myself off, I give thanks, because I know that you use ordinary people to fulfill extraordinary purposes, and something is already beginning to align without me even noticing. God, it is comforting to know that you also care about what I do every day. You see my effort, my attempts, my restarts. Your word says in Proverbs 16:3 that when we commit our works to the Lord, our plans are established, and that gives me security to continue even when results take time. There are days when it feels like nothing works, everything gets stuck, and tiredness speaks louder. But today I understand. You are in the process, not only in the result. You adjust details, correct routes, protect decisions. Even what seems small in my hands gains weight when it passes through your hands. And this changes the way I face routine, goals, and responsibilities. Instead of just working, I trust. Instead of only planning, I surrender. Because I know that when you touch a project, it stops being ordinary. And something begins to take shape beyond what I can see. God, it is impressive how you know how to break barriers that I cannot cross. Where there was blockage, you create passage. Where there was opposition, you generate agreement. Your word says in Proverbs 21:1 that you incline hearts like streams of water. And this teaches me that no resistance is greater than your authority. There are situations that seemed impossible, people who seemed unmovable, processes that seemed stuck, and suddenly everything begins to flow. Not because I insisted more, but because you touched it. The atmosphere changes, the tone changes, the response changes. This is cooperation released by heaven, and this changes the way I face obstacles. Instead of fighting, I pray. Instead of pressuring, I trust. Because I know that when you enter a situation, even those who resisted begin to cooperate, and something starts to unlock without me having to force it. God. It is liberating to understand that you do not call me to survive at the limit. You call me to live sustained. Your word says in Philippians 4:19 that you supply all my needs according to your riches in glory, and that completely changes the way I look at money, resources, and the future. There are provisions that arrive quietly, solutions that appear without announcement, help that comes without request. Today I understand. It is you taking care before there is lack. It is not pressure, it is care. It is not luck, it is diligence. You know exactly what I need, when I need it, and how I need it. And this transforms the way I deal with bills, commitments, and responsibilities. Instead of panicking, I breathe. Instead of acting out of fear, I organize with faith, because I know you do not leave me helpless. And something inside me begins to rest, like someone who trusts without needing to see. God, it is reassuring to know that I do not walk without direction, even when I do not understand the path. Your word says in Psalm 37:23 that the steps of the righteous are ordered by the Lord. And that makes me realize that even detours have purpose when you are in control. I may not understand the route, but I trust the author. There are paths I did not plan, encounters I did not foresee, changes I did not schedule. And today I understand. You were guiding me. What seemed like chance was direction. What seemed like a mistake was adjustment. You know exactly where to take me to protect me and to prepare me. And this changes the way I deal with uncertainty and fear of the future. Instead of freezing, I walk. Instead of hesitating, I move forward. Because I know that when you lead, even a crooked road leads to the right place. And something inside me begins to trust without needing a map. God, it is comforting to know that your favor is not unstable like the things of this world. It does not depend on mood, season, or performance. Your word says in Lamentations 3:22-23 that your mercies are renewed every morning, and that shows me that your care does not grow tired of me. There are days when I fail, days when I make mistakes, days when I do not get it right, even in intention. And still you remain. Your favor does not withdraw because I stumble. It sustains me while I rise. This is love that does not give up, grace that does not abandon, faithfulness that does not run out. And this changes the way I deal with guilt and the fear of losing. I do not live trying to deserve. I live learning to trust, because I know you do not take away what you give out of love. And something inside me begins to rest, like someone who finally understands that they do not need to prove themselves all the time. God, it is powerful to realize that nothing in me is random. Not my story, not my struggles, not my victories. Your word says in Romans 8:28 that all things work together for the good of those who love you. And that shows me that even what hurt me, you used to shape me. Nothing was wasted. There are seasons I did not understand, paths I questioned, choices that confused me. And today I see it. You were molding me for something greater. Every no protected me. Every yes positioned me. Every wait prepared me. Your favor is not only to bless me, it is to align me with your purpose. And this changes the way I look at my own life. I am not delay, I am process. I am not error, I am construction. Because I know that when you release favor, there is a purpose behind it, and something begins to take shape beyond what I can understand right now. As you stay here with me, I want you to realize something. It is not by accident that you are still listening to this prayer. If it were just emotion, it would have already passed. But when it is God, He stays. And if you felt something different just now, even if you cannot explain it. That is the Holy Spirit touching areas you had already learned to carry alone. I want to ask you something with care, but with truth. What needs to change in you starting today? What attitude do you know you need to align? What thought do you need to let go of? What behavior do you need to adjust? Because prayer is not only to calm, prayer is to transform. And God did not call you to survive. He called you to live with purpose. Maybe you came here tired, frustrated, discouraged. But I want you to know, God has not given up on you. He has not forgotten you. He has not left you behind. He has not ignored you. He is working even when you do not see it. And this gratitude you are learning to release now. It is opening doors in the invisible. So do not let this die here. Make this a habit. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and walk with me every day in prayer, in gratitude, and in alignment with God. Because when you put God at the center, everything begins to fall into place around you. And keep this in your heart. God's grace knows exactly how to find you. Wherever you are, however you are, at the right time.